Call to order of oath of the office for the new council members. Can I get a second on this?
Second. Okay, so Councilor Beach. You want to come up here? Okay, so this is yours. You're going to read it, and then I'm going to sign it. Alrighty. I, Danielle Beach, do solemnly affirm that I am qualified to hold the office of councillor for the village of Pouce Coupe, to which I have been elected. I have not, by myself or any other person, knowingly contravened the Local Government Act respecting vote, buying, or intimidation in relation to my election of office. I will faithfully perform the duties of my office and will not allow any private interest to influence my conduct in public matters. As required by the community charter, I will disclose any direct or indirect pecuniary interest I have in a matter and will not participate in the discussion of the matter and will not vote in respect of the matter. Sworn by the above named councillor before me at the village of Pouce Coupe. There you go, British Columbia. I read the whole thing, you know. I'll just get you this on right there. Perfect. This little baby book too, and I'll get us a copy for you. And that's it. That's all I can do. And Councillor Waddell.
Alright, I'm Marcel Woodhill. I do solemnly affirm that I am qualified to hold the office of councillor for the village of Pouce Coupe, to which I have been elected. I have not, by myself or any other persons, knowingly contravened the Local Government Act, representing voting, buying, or intimidation, sorry, in relation to my election to the office. I will faithfully perform the duties of my office and will not allow any private interests or influence my conduct in public matters. As required by the community charter, I will disclose any direct or indirect pecuniary interests I have in a matter and will not participate in discussion of the matter and will not vote in respect of the matter.
Adoption of agenda, 3.1 recommendation.
The council adopt the agenda as presented.
Can I get a seconder?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Adoption of minutes of 4.1 recommendation.
The council adopt the minutes for the regular council meeting held September 15th, 2021.
Can I get a seconder?
Second.
Any discussion?
Was there everything had a motion, a second and a motion in all the agenda? I had thought that maybe in the agenda there was a motion not voted on, but I see through here if that was.
What was the motion that you were discussing?
Yeah, was there a particular one?
Discussing, do you remember?
I can't remember.
Mrs.
But I
Wilson?
looked through the paper and it has motions, so.
Yeah,
On September 22nd, it's for number 3,
Oh. it's-
National Day of Truth and
Next one.
Reconciliation.
Okay,
And also there was,
Point of order, if it's not on this September
Oh,
15th agenda, we will discuss that.
okay, no,
All in favor?
you guys, yeah. Don't vote.
4.2 recommendation.
The council adopt the minutes for the special council meeting held on September 22nd, 2021.
Can I get a seconder?
second,
Discussion?
Okay, now,
Now,
No.
and it was number 4.3, National Day of Truth and Reconciliation.
And what did you want on that?
So the previous CAO put that to you guys as information only, so there was no motion required. It was just for information.
Oh, okay.
So that's it? Anything else? All in favor? Introducing late items, we have 9.2. Did you guys get a copy of 9.2?
Everyone has it.
And I also have a 9.4.
I have
For email.
9.3.
I would like to add,
Excuse me? I have a 9.3 that goes into the late items as well. And you?
I have a 9.4 that was an email sent to the village, and I would like to put it on there to discuss.
And what's email?
Pardon?
What is email?
It's in regard to a doctor and care workers, public, Paul McKay.
The doctor, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Public hearing none, delegations none, unfinished business arising from the minutes. New business, 9.1 recommendation.
I'd like to make a motion. I'd like to motion that the mayor does not receive any portfolios. Going into discussion about that. I'd like to put that motion forward.
So we need a second. I'll second that.
Okay.
Discussion? And where would you, Chris, was that not supposed to be there? Her motion?
Sorry, Worship?
Her motion should have been under new business?
No, the motion pertains to the business at hand, Worship. The recommendation from staff was that council review the council portfolios and mayor schedules.
But that hasn't come up, is what I'm saying.
I believe that's 9.1.
So the top of the next
9.1. Oh, sorry.
That's the,
I
yeah.
rolled over top of it. Okay.
And just before we go into that, I'd also like to motion that we write a letter to all the portfolios, just expressing that any questions or correspondence is to be dealt with by new councilors or the new council representatives or the staff at village office.
I'll second.
And what letters are you referring to?
Just a letter just expressing that all correspondence goes through their new council representative, so.
It goes through the village, it goes through.
Yeah,
the
so through whoever their representative is, and then through our village staff, if they can't get a hold of their representative. Just to make sure that they're contacting the proper people and that,
They did contact the property.
yeah, perfect. So I just really wanted to put that out there, that they're going to be contacting their council representative and not reaching out to you if you're not their representative. So if Barb or myself is their representative, they need to be phoning me or Barb or Marlene or myself.
We've tried to establish that earlier in the years.
Perfect. And I think if we put it in writing, it will just really reaffirm that.
Sandy?
So we have to deal with one motion first before you put another motion on the
Sorry
table.
about that.
That's okay. So you have one on the table right now that's been first and seconded. It needs to be discussed or voted on. And that would be that the motion that the mayor be, can you repeat?
That we may or not receive or sit on any of the portfolios.
No, actually, the fire department, I'm keeping. I will keep them.
It needs to be voted on, that counts as a portfolio. The motion covers all of the portfolios.
Oh, so this is gonna be a gang up on me now.
Oh no, I'm not ganging up on you.
Yeah, it is.
My position from the beginning has been the stance of, I don't support you on any of the portfolios, so I'm putting that vote out to see if others feel the same way.
Okay.
Let's maybe ask the fire department themselves.
It's not up to the fire department. It's up to the,
Actually, it is up to the fire department who they want to work with.
no, it's up to the decision of the council.
Correct.
Okay.
Feel so.
Am I under the wrong assumption? I believe that the vote does come down to us as council, who handles which portfolio. I believe I'm following proper order.
No, actually, you didn't ask to speak as well. To do, first of all. You don't just blurt out a motion. So you do need to put your hand up, and I will speak to you. Okay?
Okay? Motion's still on the floor though, and it was accepted and seconded.
Yeah. Still.
So we have discussion. Is there anybody else?
The mayor can decide if that's a discussion.
No.
As far as I know, it's been seconded on, since it's been received.
It's on the floor.
And so we get to vote on it. I've been reading this manual from front to back for days, and that's my understanding of everything that's underneath there.
So who's voting? Put your hands up, so they can count.
Okay, the vote is on the floor. All those in favor?
None opposed.
So should we go down the portfolios? One after one? Oh,
Yep, thank you, Councillor Smith.
Anything else?
With your permission, your worship, there is a second motion on the floor here right now regarding the letters. And then, yeah, council would still have to address the matters of the portfolios after.
okay. Could you repeat the second motion, please? Sue?
That a letter go out, correct me if I'm wrong, it was kind of, that a letter goes out to all the different agencies, clarifying who is to be contacted in regards to which portfolio, right?
So, who's to handle correspondence?
Yes. 9 times out of 10, though, it will come to the village staff first, and then we'll.
Yep.
funnel it out.
Those in favor?
So are you guys gonna go through them?
Yes.
Fire department. I recommend myself.
I'll take it, nobody else wants it.
Marnie?
I think I would really like to learn about the fire department.
I'd like to make the motion that Marlene has the fire department portfolio.
I'll make the motion that Marcel has it. That's what I said. I made the motion at the beginning. That Marcel would have it.
Question? We're discussing, that might be a conflict.
No, it wouldn't be a conflict for me because I'm not a member of Poughkeepsie Fire.
Okay,
I'm a former member and I've been gone from Poughkeepsie Fire now for a number of years.
And he is a fireman. Well, he was a fireman.
and then even with them working with search and rescue?
There's no financial gain to it whatsoever. Search and rescue costs me money. And it's
Well-
100% volunteer, so.
Yes, I understand. The portfolios are not, you don't have voting rights, you don't give direction. All you do is,
You're the
It's
Just
liaison.
a point of contact, basically.
and the contact, yes.
You're the liaison. So if there's an emergency, you're called. Right? So you
Yeah.
already have that training, so I think you would be the best.
We have a first, we need a seconder for the mayor's motion.
Can I get a seconder?
Second.
All in favor?
I don't know if I can vote.
It's 2 and 2. So Marcel? 2 and 2.
So I'd like to put on the motion Marlene for the fire department.
No, it was 3 to 2.
It was 3-2.
Oh, 3 to 2? Oh, I
Yeah.
apologize, I'm sorry.
So RCLC Site C?
I think that.
Yeah,
You can make it up to the meeting, or phone in.
Yeah.
Can I get a seconder on Danny having
Yeah,
that?
I'll second that.
All in favor? Chris?
Your worship, if I might recommend, it's probably easiest that we just name them off and then somebody request that portfolio. If there's any objections, then we can go into making it a motion per se, but probably in the effort of time, record keeping, we go through a motion for every single one, it'd be a little bit cumbersome.
Point of order, community charter requires a motion for every point.
Okay.
So Peace Health Council?
I'd like to do that, please.
Yeah, I'd like to motion that Barb Smith has Southeast Health Council.
I'll second that.
You know you're just the liaison?
Pardon me?
You know you're just the liaison? Oil and gas courtesy matters?
I'd like to nominate Marcel for.
And I'll second that. All in favor?
Which was, that was oil and gas?
Oil and gas courtesy matters with Ovento?
Yeah.
Your RCMP?
I'd like to motion for myself that one.
I'll second.
All in favor? School?
I would like to change that portfolio not to read school. I think it should say community center. We do not, the school, we do not have any impact on school district, how they run the school, but we do have impact on our community center. So
We
I
did
did
have an impact in helping them get them built, that school built. We do have an impact on
but we can't tell them how to run the school.
that. No, we don't.
And I would like to change that to the community rep. And that would be the person that would negotiate if something came up with the school and our community center, that would be our liaison person. I would like to nominate Danielle.
Second.
All in favor?
Is everyone in favor of changing it to the community center?
Yeah.
NDIT, Northern Development Initiative Trust, I recommend Marcel do that because Councillor Smith missed the last one.
I would like to continue on with NDIT, please, and Marcel be the alternate.
Second. Yeah.
All in favor? Food Bank?
I would like to take that on.
Can I get a seconder on that?
I'll second.
All in favor? Museum?
Did you want to keep museum?
Sure, can you put your hand up? Councillor Smith?
Yes, I can. Maybe I can.
Museum?
I'll pick museum.
Second? All in favor? Seniors? Well,
I'd like to keep the seniors.
I'll second that.
all in favor? Post office?
I'd like to keep the post office.
Can I get a seconder?
Second?
All in favor? Scoopy Food Bank? Why do we have food, sorry, Scoopy Food Bank is Danielle.
Yeah.
And we need an alternate.
Can I?
Can I get a seconder for Barb?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
I'd like to say something about food bank.
Okay.
Why, do we feel we need an alternate for the food bank?
I think I should be able to make most of the meetings. I can't predict the future, but
Okay, I'm just putting it out there.
you could be it, but I don't know.
No, what I'm saying is, it's not a big portfolio, it's not,
Or shall we take alternate out, is what you're saying?
Pardon me?
You're-
So you don't want to be
Get rid of alternate?
Yeah.
And do you want a school or alternate then? No. Okay. PRD,
I would like to
that's an
make,
alternate.
What, to alternate, I nominate myself.
and I second it.
All in favor?
So I'm the alternate for PRD.
And then we had, why did I have South Peace Health and Barb have South Peace Health? Library? Sandy, did you have something to say?
Nope.
I'd be willing to take on the library.
Yeah, I'll second that.
All in favor? Alaska Highway Community Society, that's a part of the museum. The Tourism and Northern Heritage Trail Society is part of tourism.
I would like to nominate myself
For which ones, sir?
for all three,
For tourism and the Alaska Highway Community Society.
and Northern Heritage Trails Society.
Second.
All in favor? PRRD Director.
I'd like to stay on as director.
I'll make a
second
motion that Marcel be the director and Barb be the second, or the alternate, because for one, Barb did not show up at the Monday night meeting last week. So, she's obviously got a busy schedule, so, and those meetings are important. Barb?
I would like to state that I was not aware of the meeting, and I am the director, I was, and I was not notified, and it's not up to the mayor to tell me about meetings, it is up to the regional district, so they did not reach out to me.
Molly?
I'd like to make a motion that Barb is the PRRD director. And second.
All in favor? Okay, that's it. And the schedules are October to December is Marcel, January is Hebert, Counselor Smith, and Counselor Beach. Is that it?
Did you still want somebody on cemetery?
I'd like to make the motion that Marlene does cemetery.
Are you the mayor today?
I second that motion.
All in favor? So then we have the recommendation. Oh, no, we have, sorry. We have, loader, rental for snow.
Second.
Purpose is to advise council of the change in circumstances with respect to the village's annual loader rental snow removal. Can I get a seconder?
I'll second it.
Discussion. Counselor Smith?
I would like the CAO to update us on speak.
Oh, the status of it? Yeah, thanks, Councilor Smith. So, yeah, pretty short and sweet. Typically, the last couple of years that we've done the snow loader rental system, we've reached out to the supplier here around the beginning of October. requested the machine. We usually had it in 2 weeks, and then it takes us a couple of weeks to get ready in time for the November 1st sort of snow plowing season. Unfortunately, this year, as I mentioned in the report, the company that we were transacting with isn't renting or allowing their suppliers to rent equipment anymore because of COVID supply shortages. So put us in an awkward situation for sure. I very quickly started making phone calls and trying to find another alternate suitable machine. We do have a few quotes. I've got 2 quotes from the rental companies, and then I'm just waiting on the third. One of the a supplier in Prince George has suggested they might be willing to lease us a machine, because typically our rental was for 6 to 7 months just for the snow clearing season. And I've done it that way so that we weren't paying for a machine that sat idle in the, in the public works yard. But the sales company has said they might actually be able to lease us a machine on a fixed term for 3 to 5 years for roughly the same amount as we would spend to rent it for 6 months. So I said, guys, if the financial impact isn't measurable, I'm certainly open to considering that as an option. Because with some of the conversations that I've had with the suppliers at several big brand name manufacturers, they're saying it could be a while before their supply of equipment comes back to pre-COVID levels. So I think if that option comes back at a reasonable price and it closely approximates what the 6-month rental would be, that might be the best thing for us to just make sure we've got the equipment. If the costs are the same, then really to rent it for 6 months and turn it back, or to keep it, makes a little bit of sense to just hold on to it, and we know we've got it the following season, and I don't end up in this scenario again. So it's unfortunately, we're sort of a victim of supply shortages that are COVID related in this case. So it is what it is.
I think Councillor Beaver had it.
I was just going to ask, when we leased before, we had them come and do all the repairs, right?
Yes and no. There were very few repairs that actually occurred because we were renting essentially a brand new machine. It had a couple of hundred hours.
Exactly.
So I believe we may have lost a hydraulic hose or two in the 2 years that we rented it, but yeah, the company came and repaired it. If we lease it, the equipment would come with a full factory warranty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions, Marcel? Oh, Councillor Smith, sorry.
This is something that we won't decide it's tabled until you come back with the rest of the information?
I would recommend that we not, because of the shortages I've been told that are out there. And in fact, one that I was investigating even possibly bringing to council as a low-cost purchase for a used piece of equipment sold in a couple of days at the shop. So my feeling is if we don't move on something quickly, somebody's going to snatch one of these up from underneath us, and we'll be back to plowing the streets with a 1994 grader for this winter. So,
Marcel?
With the lease option for 3 years, that would give us basically, if I understand this correctly, that would give us the machine year round, and we're paying the same cost as what we used to pay for a machine for just the winter.
potentially.
So, essentially that's a better bang for our buck, because now we have use of that machine year round for the cost of what we're paying for the winter, so ultimately it'd be a tax savings, I guess, or a savings for us. The other thing with that is, on that 3-year lease, are we responsible for maintenance, or is that supplied by the renter?
Yeah, good question. So to address the first piece, I'm not 100% sure. They've sort of told me over the phone, because I've given them the lease for the rental prices, and they've said we think we can match that on an annual basis. So whereas, we're looking at about $6,600 a month to rent it, the leasing agencies are saying, if we can get one for $3,000 on a lease per month, would you take it? And I said, I'd be interested in knowing that number, and if you can do that. You're certainly correct that we would have the machine available, but part of the issue with it when we were considering all of this, a couple of years ago, there's not a ton of operational need for that machine, which was why we chose to do it and only incur the cost for the season in which we needed the machine. So in talking to Public Works, there's a couple of things we can do with it, but for the most part, for the summer, it might have 5 to 10 hours a month of utilization at most. That's part of actually our value proposition in this entire thing, and part of the reason we were able to get the machine at the low rental cost. That we're talking about a $350,000 piece of equipment. So part of the reason we were able to get it at such a low monthly rental cost was, one, we were a municipality, and the supplier felt that it was good PR for them to have their branded machine used by us, so that people around see, hey, this is the brand the municipality uses, it must be pretty good quality. But number two was that we were essentially paying a decent price for the usage, but we actually weren't using it, other than plowing the snow. And with the loader, when we moved from the grader to that system, we went from a couple of days to plow the streets to half a day to blitz everything in town. That loader is phenomenally more efficient than the old grader was. So really what ends up happening with that unit is we've got it sitting there, and when it snows, we'll dispatch it, we'll maybe use it for half a day at most, blitz all the streets, move a little bit of snow around, and then we park it, and it essentially sits there for 2, 3, 4 weeks, whatever it is in between snowfalls. So that was part of what was able to keep the cost low. I have made that same sort of sales pitch on our behalf to the leasing company and said, look, you guys are going to propose us a lease. We're going to pay for 3 years of this thing. We might return it to you for with less than 500 hours on it.
Chris, so is this a brand new one?
It would be a brand new one. Well, sorry, no, let me take that back.
Because you don't have that in here, I was just wondering.
No, the leasing one, the lease option out of Prince George, they're talking a brand new unit with us.
Mhm.
The one at 6,600, the leasing company or the rental company is considering it, that's advantageous enough to them. They might consider buying one and giving us a brand new one for that price. If not, we would be looking at renting one that's a couple of years old, but still maintained by the rental company. Once we enter a rental agreement, we're only responsible for willful or neglectful damage to the machine.
Yeah.
Hydraulic
You don't know
hose.
what year this 6,600 one is?
At the end of the year, end of the day, your worship, I'm not super concerned about it because the maintenance is the responsibility of the rental
Yeah,
company.
we don't want to ruin the concrete thing.
No, I mean, they're a legitimate rental company in the Peace region here. They're not in the habit of renting antiques. It's going to be a pretty late model.
Pardon?
It's going to be a pretty late model. Might not be 2020 or 2021, but it won't be a 2001 or something like that. Yeah.
So, you recommend?
Yeah. I was really just putting this in front of council to sort of get consent from everybody that, Chris, yeah, once you find something that works for you, jump on it because we need this, so.
So,
I would like to make the motion that our CAO will look at it, and if he has to make a decision, to go ahead and do it.
Yeah, authorize me to make that
Authorize,
decision on the
yeah.
village's behalf, yeah.
can I get a second? All in favor? To be advised, council of a change in circumstances with respect to the village's purchases of the replacement of the Public Works crew cab pickup. Chris?
I can speak to this one too and save everybody a little bit of background reading. Another, COVID-related supply delay or issue. So last week, the Director of Public Works followed up again with the company we made the purchase commitment for the crew cab in May. And they basically indicated to us, we have no idea when your pickup truck is going to be ready. We feel that that's not necessarily the best thing, and we'd like to have the replacement truck here for the winter season when the severe weather that we're driving in becomes a problem. So what I did then was I began making phone calls to other vehicle dealers in the region, starting with BC, but then I did have to cross the border into Alberta. I was able to find a Dodge Ram 2500 that was similar to the one initially presented to council in May in the budget deliberations, with the only difference being it's not the full 8-foot box, it's the 6 1/4 or 6.4 or something like that.
Less of a truck, more money.
Well, and that's, yeah, it's still a gas, which we wanted. A lot of people said they had diesels, but because of our service requirements, diesel's not the right thing. We'd have to leave it running all day long in the winter, and it just doesn't make sense. Everybody said, no, with what you're telling me, Chris, don't go diesel.
So I'll put a motion on the floor that we raise the budget $18,000. That's what you want?
If council's open to the idea, and I'll say that with a caveat, and I mentioned it under the legal descriptions here. I do have to reach out to the supplier we indicated we'd buy from initially and have that frank conversation with them. Say, guys, we made this purchase commitment in May. We're still waiting. You've given us no firm date. We're rolling into winter now. I ordered a single pickup truck to replace the very old and high mileage truck I have.
It's on its steps.
It's on its last legs for sure. And so I'm gonna need you to be able to commit to me to deliver the goods I ordered within 2 weeks, or I consider the purchase agreement canceled and I'm
Well, it should be.
yeah, and I don't fault them for that, you know, I don't fault the supplier at all, of course, for that. You know, we're hearing so much of this stuff out there in the marketplace that materials and parts and supplies are being more and more difficult to get because of COVID.
So can I get a second on that $18,000?
I'll second it.
All in favor? Or any discussion, I should say?
Just one quick question for you. Is the public works director, is it gonna impact them going from a 6-foot box to or from an 8-foot box to a 6-foot box? Is it gonna impact public works, so now they have to haul the trailer to do stuff, or
Yep.
they gotta do multiple trips now?
No, so right now, we've already got a half-ton with actually the shorter of the 3 of the boxes that Dodge offers, and it's 5.5. So this is
Okay.
actually going from, you know, if we move forward with this is going from the shortest to the medium. We wanted the very long box, and, you know, if that was our wish list item, we would have taken it. But everybody's saying that, yeah, that truck, you know, Dodge can't even find me one in Western Canada there that's got a long box. And I reached out to 2 Dodge dealerships.
But we still have a truck here to use.
Well, we've still got, yeah, to your point, your worship,
Yes.
yeah,
So-
we've still got the Ford we've got a Ford F-250, that's a regular cab long box. So in those rare instances that, you know, we're dealing with something that can only go in a long box, we still have that available. But, yeah, the director's at the point where he's saying, I need a truck more than I need the extra 1.5 foot of box at this point.
Anything else? Any other questions? All in favor? Okay.
Thank you.
9.4, email from Dr. Mackey.
I'm concerned about this.
Could you put your hand up? Councilor Smith?
I also would like to make a motion that council makes a media release that
This has nothing to do with council.
council, this is not,
You need to read people's comments, Barb, before you put the village in jeopardy.
when you say mayor,
I didn't say mayor. I said mayor on my email, yes.
and for your media, you were the mayor when you spoke to the media.
So,
So you were speaking on behalf of the village, and I would like to make a press release that that was not on behalf of council.
they already know that it's not part of council. I've already had this conversation.
That's a motion I have on the floor.
Can I get a second? Discussion.
I suggest if we're gonna put something like that together, that we have something drafted up when it comes back to us again for review before it gets put out publicly, just so we're all on the same page on that, and we can check to see if it's, you know, if there's any ramifications or anything that we need to be approve on it. So I think that's my 2 cents on it, that'd be something that we look at how we're gonna word that if it goes forward.
And being brought up right now. And I didn't have a notice. Chris?
Thank you, Worship. Just to that end, Councilor Wolf, if somebody could suggest what the intent of the letter would be or the possible wording, that would help staff.
Councilor Smith?
I would like the intent of the media release is that it was not the consensus of council for the thoughts and the discussion.
The thoughts of me wanting to see the ICU.
And
And the
calling
media not lying? The media not lying? They did lie. They put words into, Adrian Dick's mouth today.
But when you spoke, you did not speak on behalf of council, and we would like.
Well, I'm pretty sure everybody knows that I don't speak on behalf of council, Barb. I speak my own mind. I don't follow.
Anybody else have
Marcel?
thoughts?
Excuse me? Marcel?
May I suggest that the wording along the lines of the views expressed by the mayor were her personal views and do not reflect the current views of council and staff. Just that distinction that it was her personal opinion.
Yeah, we can work with that.
All in favor? So will you let the fire department know that they're doing a good job, Chris, please? Anybody want to discuss the fire department's report information?
So yeah, we've been working hard,
Yeah, they have been.
put in a good effort this last year, especially with the challenges of COVID for training and everything else. So, definitely good work by the chief and his crew over there.
10.2 recommendation, the bylaw. He's out busy. That's good. Busy boy. Do the same, please, Chris. Thank him. Tell them they do a good job at the next meeting. Recommendation that council receive a letter from Ministry of Children and Family Development for information. Can I get a seconder if you guys want to discuss it? Okay. 10.4 recommendation that council receive information from Oak Bay as information. Nobody? No takers? The council received the letter from the Ministry of Municipality Affairs for information. The council received the letter of appointment of directors to the Metro Vancouver Regional District Board as information. The council received the letter from the ambulance paramedics of British Columbia as information.
I'll second that.
Want to discuss it?
No, I just want to acknowledge that we've accepted that letter and we've received communication from them.
Okay, all in favor? 10.8 recommendation that council received a thank you letter from STARS for information. Can I get a seconder on that one, acknowledging it?
Second?
And 10.9 recommendation that council received the email for the honorary urban economy forum membership as information. Sorry, guys. Password is bad. Nothing? Okay, resolutions 9, bylaws 9, 12.1 recommendation. Can I get a second there first?
Second?
Or, okay. Everybody ready? 12.1 recommendation that council gives the first reading to the tax exemption bylaw number 1032, 2021. Can I get a seconder?
Second.
Any discussion? I thought our bylaw was for all churches, Chris.
Is there something you feel is missing on that?
No, I just thought, because we have to do a bylaw for these guys again too? I thought both churches were exempt.
They are, and I believe,
So why are we doing a bylaw?
I forget which one's which in here, so yeah, I don't want to make a mistake on that on behalf of the church, but
It says right on it.
yeah, I don't know what sort of church that is.
It's right over here.
The South Peace Bible Missionary Church.
That's the Bible mission, yeah, it's
And
Yeah,
I know
that's
it's
that
a
one over
church.
there.
yeah,
That's
okay,
that one over there.
yeah.
And then Hooscabeek Community Church. right
Yeah,
there.
okay.
But
And then the seniors hall.
I always thought that would have been tax exempt, since it's
It
always
is.
been a church.
It's council that has to exempt it.
So we have to exempt it again. Did we have to do one for these guys too?
No, it's part of we lump them all together.
Okay.
That's what I was confused about. I thought you were saying there was one that was missing, but, yeah.
Okay.
So that's required yearly, right?
It, the charter gives us the option to do it for a multitude of years, but historically, we've done it yearly just to make sure it doesn't fall through the cracks and in case there's ever a question about it. Once we exempt them for 5 years, it's tricky to go back on that if for some reason it changes. It's pretty uncommon for, tax exemption for churches to be scaled back, but it does happen, so. The charter gives us the option to do it anywhere between 1 and 5 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Can I get a, so this is all in favor? Because we did a second. All in favor? Okay. 12.2 recommendation that council gives second reading to the tax exemption bylaw number 1032, 2021. Can I get a seconder? Myself. Discussion? All in favor? 12.3 recommendation that council gives third reading to the tax exemption bylaw number 1032, 2021.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? 13 administration reports, 13.1 CAO report. Chris?
Thanks, for just a few things, other than the two late items there. Just want to remind council of the office closure tomorrow. So the village office is closed to the public because we're doing the first aid training across the way. So the entirety of the village office staff will be right across in the fire hall for the full day. And then the only other thing on my list here is the speed bumps are starting to come up here effective now. So,
You'll be on the emergency line? If the
Emergency
village is
line.
closed?
the answering service will stay lit. Yeah.
Marlene?
So the the volunteers are required to do this first aid training as well?
They've already got it, Councillor Hebert. Sorry, Your Worship.
Oh, okay.
So this is just for the village office staff.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Yeah.
They have a bigger
You missed
space.
the meeting last week. You missed the meeting last week.
I did.
Yeah, Gary asked if we could allow the office to be closed and the village staff go over to the fire hall.
Yeah. So if something really emergency bubbles up, we're right across the road, but hopefully it'll be okay.
Just so the taxpayers know.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
Action items? So Sandy, do I dare put the action items on there? Is that I wanted you to look at?
Which one?
The highway one?
What?
The highway?
The highway? You mean my picture? Want me to put that on there? Take picture? I'll remember.
So, Northland's Healing Center, that looks really, really good down there. That's coming along right nicely. Anything on here you guys see? Anything updates, Barb, on the housing needs report?
No.
Nothing stopped. Counselors' calendar. I will be away, Sandy, from the 11th to the 21st.
So you won't be here for the next council meeting?
Don't know, I'll be here for Remembrance Day.
Huh?
I won't be here. I leave on Remembrance Day.
October or November?
November.
Oh, November, not October.
November.
November 11th.
I'd like to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, since we won't see each other on Monday. Sandy, when's the next BRD meeting?
I don't know off the top of my head, I'll check.
Councilor Smith?
Tomorrow?
So Sandy, you're going to be putting where everybody's at for their meetings, like RCLC and all that again?
What I know, yeah.
Definitely. Councillor Hebert report.
I have just checked in with people to make sure that things are going well with them. And my portfolio, everything seems to be doing just fine.
Councillor Smith.
I have a regional district meeting tomorrow.
Councillor Beach doesn't have anything. Councillor Wood.
I'd like to make a motion. I'd like to motion that the council review Code of Conduct Policy number 8.1, as well as social media policy 1.16. To review those, please.
Can I get a seconder?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Councillor Woodall?
Nothing really to report, just look forward to working with everybody and taking on the new challenges.
Thank you. And Mayor McKetty, nothing. Income and non-raising report and adjournment.
Make motion to adjourn.
Oh,
Gotta make a motion to adjourn.